All right, if you need help getting started with today's starters, you're supposed to be simplifying 12 over 144. And if you know your facts, that's easy. But if you don't know your facts, one of the ways that you can simplify is you can start with a list and you are going to write down all of the factors of 12, which means you're going to write down all the numbers you can multiply together to get to 12. So you could do 1 times 12 to get 12. You could do 2 times 6. You could do 3 times 4. And then the next one would be 4 times 3, but we've already got that one. And if you don't know your facts, you can use your calculator if you've got one. And you can take the 12 and divide it by 2. And that's 6. So that's where I get my 2 and my 6. Then I could do 12 divided by 3. And that'll give me 4. Those are all factors. If you try to divide like 12 divided by 5 and you end up with 2 and 4/10, that is not a factor. So you've got to, when you divide, it has to be a whole number. So then we've got 144. And this one's probably going to be a little more difficult. We've got the 1 times 144. And then you may be stuck. So take your calculator and we do 144 divided by 2, and that's 72. So we put 2 and 72 here. Then we're going to try dividing by 3. 144 divided by 3, and that's 48. So that's a whole number. So 3 times 48 is 144. And then 144 divided by 4, and that is 36. So we have 4 times 36. And then we divide 144 by 5, and you'll see that it does not have a whole number, so we don't write that one down. Then 144 divided by 6 is 24, so 6 times 24. Try to divide by 7. That ends up with a huge decimal. 144 divided by 8 is 18, so 8 and 18. 144 divided by 9 is 16. 9 times 16. 144 divided by 10 is going to give us a decimal. 144 divided by 11, that's going to give us a decimal. 144 divided by 12 is 12. And once we've got a double or a repeat, then that's over. So those are our factors. And then we look for the biggest number that's in both columns. So I've got a 1 in both columns. I have a 2 in both columns. I have a 3 and a 4 and a 6. But I also have a 12. So I do the biggest number that's in both columns, and that's what I'm dividing by. So I divide by 12. And then if I've done my chart, 12 times 1 is 12. So when I divide, and then 144 divided by 12 is 12. And that's how I get the answer for that first one. And then when I have to tell if they're equivalent, that means do they name the same amount? The easiest way to do that is just to cross multiply and see if I get the same answer. So I multiply 4 times 15, and that equals 60. And then I multiply 60 times 3, and I get 180. And since these two answers don't match, they are not equivalent. If I had like the fraction 1/2, and 8/16, and I was trying to see if that was equivalent. I would do 1 times 16, and that equals 16. And then I would do 2 times 8. That equals 16. If my answer is the same when I cross multiply, then that would mean yes, they are equivalent. I hope that that helps you a little bit today with your starters.